What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be doing our predictions for round one of the SMX Championship at Charlotte, and I'm going to be predicting 5 different categories such as fastest qualifiers, who's going to make it out of the LCQ race, the over and under achievers, the biggest surprise of the weekend, as well as the podium. And we'll be doing this for 250 as well as 450. So let's kind of just jump right into the fastest qualifiers for the 250. And me personally, I think that's going to be Levi Kitchen. He's won 3 out of the 4 motocross races to finish the year. He's on a roll right now. I expect him to kind of bring that over into this round one at Charlotte. Looking at the results from last year, kind of one of the reasons why I didn't go with Deegan is he qualified 12th last year at Charlotte. And he's also not necessarily the greatest at time qualifying in Supercross. He usually brings it for the race. I think I'm going with Levi. That's kind of my safe bet right now, I guess you would kind of say. And then I'm going to go in order, like of my categories for each class in order. So I'll do 250s first, and then we'll talk about 450s. So for the LCQ race, who's going to make it out of the LCQ race? I was kind of looking this up, and the guys from 21st to 40th, I don't even know if half of these guys are even going to be racing. I was trying to find a sign-up list, and I can't find it anywhere like on the internet. So I don't even know who's actually going to be in the LCQ race. I know, for example, a couple of these guys aren't even going to be racing this weekend. Joey Savacci's out. He's not racing. Dax Bennett is out. He's not racing. There's a couple other guys too that, like Phil Nicoletti, he's in the LCQ race for 250s. I don't think he does that, right? So I don't know necessarily who's going to be in there just yet as of recording right now. And I know for a fact Cameron McAdoo is racing. I think Cameron McAdoo makes it out of the LCQ race as one of the 2 guys that makes it out. Now, my problem is I don't know who's going to make it in that second position. I would put Seth Handmaker there, right? But I don't know if Seth is racing. Like, I haven't heard anything about Seth racing, so I can't really go with that. I kind of want to go with Dylan Schwartz. I think maybe he puts that Suzuki in that second spot behind McAdoo. But that's like the second best guy, in my opinion, based off of results from Supercross and Motocross that I would go with. There's a couple other guys that could probably sneak in as well, such as like Anthony Bourdon, maybe Carson Mumford, Cole Thomas. A couple of those guys could definitely sneak in. I think it really just goes down to the start. But one guy for sure that I think will make it is Cameron McAdoo. He's the fastest out of all of these guys. I mean, he's won a main event. He's been hurt, but I still expect him to make it out of the LCQ. But if you guys know if Seth is racing, please let me know in the comment section. I would put him as my second guy, but I don't know. All right, I don't know. And now my under and over achievers for this weekend. So you guys might hate me for this. All right, you guys might hate me. But I was looking at the results from last year. I was kind of going based off of like motocross and supercross here. But I think maybe Deegan maybe underachieves. Now, maybe underachieving is getting like a 5th place, maybe, right? Or 5th or 6th, right? You got to think about it. Tom Vial is going to be racing. Joe Schmoda's back. He's going to be racing. Levi Kitchen. You got Jordan Smith is always get good at supercross. RJ Hampshire. I mean, you have a lot of good guys in this race. So, like, it's just a prediction. I don't know if it's like a gut feeling per se, but I kind of just have him underachieving. My overachieve is going to be Joe. He's coming off of injury. I mean, he was riding great up until that injury. Like, you know how Joe is. He finds his form late into the season. You guys saw it at SMX last year. I mean, he won the first round of the entire thing, right? So I think he has a good feeling going into Charlotte. I expect him to do pretty good. If he gets a start, you never know. He could go out there and win. I mean, it is a 2-moto format. He can go 2-1. He can go 3-1. I mean, anything is kind of up in the air at this point, right? So I expect Joe to kind of overachieve. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then my podium spot. Now, when I say underachieve for Deegan, I kind of think that that's going to happen, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to predict him on the podium, all right? So for my podium, I got Tommy V, I got Deegan, and then I got Levi. So the fastest qualifier is going to pull out the win this weekend. Like I said, it's just a prediction. I kind of have a gut feeling that maybe Deegan underachieves and maybe Joe gets onto the podium instead of Deegan or something to that. But that's kind of what I'm going with right now. These I like to do bold predictions. You guys should know that by now. Like I like bold predictions. All right. But those are my 250 predictions for all these categories. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Hate my predictions. Just let me know in the comment section. All right. And then now let's hop over to the 450 class. And let's start us off with the fastest qualifier. That's gonna be Chase. All right. Chase is on a roll. I was looking at these results for like the end of motocross season. Bro, I think he's won like 6 races in a row. Like, literally, he's riding so well. He has that KTM dialed. Kind of an iffy spot for me, though, is how is he going to do in Supercross? We saw it this year. He was kind of like, I would say, uncomfortable racing Supercross on that bike. But outdoors, like, he found his form. So I don't know if they're going to maybe use the outdoor settings and maybe fine-tune it for the Supercross sections, which probably is what they're going to do. So if that is kind of the case, I expect him to be one of the fastest guys out there. Now, Jet's coming back, though, all right? He's coming off a thumb injury. We saw what happened with Tomac. We saw what happened with Cooper Webb. It takes some time to get back into that race form, right? Even Jet said it on a podcast, like everything was coming at him so fast, but this was a couple of weeks ago. But I expect him to maybe be top 2 in time qualifying, maybe top 3 in time qualifying. Jet's always been one of the best at time qualifying, so I expect him to be right there. I just have a gut feeling that Chase is gonna top him, maybe by 0.02 or something like that, right? Because the 450 times are always like literally right next to each other. But I have Chase with the fastest qualifier. LCQ race. Here's another iffy thing. Like, I don't know if some of these guys are racing, right? I know Dean Wilson is racing. He's gonna try to make it out of the LCQ. So that's one of my predictions. So I'm gonna have him in one of the 2 spots, right? Who else? I'm looking at this list, man, and like, for example, is Brock Tickle racing? He raced like 3 rounds of motocross and got into the LCQ race. Is Jerry Robin racing? Is Kyle Webster racing? Is Mitchell Oldenburg racing? Vince Friese? Like, what's happening? I don't even know if Colt Nichols is racing. I think he is. I think he's going to come out of the LCQ. Like, Justin Hill, is he racing? I have no idea. So one guy for sure that I have is Dean Wilson. And now the second pick, similar to the 250 class, I don't know who to go with. Like, I might just go with Colt Nichols because I think he's racing. Like, I seriously don't know if any of these guys are racing, to be fair with you guys. I don't know if they're calling people to see if they can race. I hope Justin Hill does it. He did really well last year. It sucks that he couldn't get into the top 20 based on motocross points, but if I had to choose, and if these guys were racing based on like points, if everybody was just kind of racing, I would go Dean Wilson and Justin Hill as my top 2 guys. Maybe say Derek Kelly gets in there. Maybe Colt Nichols. I could see that too, but I don't know. I don't even know who's racing at this point, right? But all right. So over and underachievers for this weekend. My underachieve is going to be Plessinger. Now, when I say underachieve, it's because Plus has been riding so freaking great as of late, especially in motocross, right? He's been killing it. I expect him something similar to Deegan, where it's going to be like a 5th or 6th ride instead of a top 3 ride right now, right? Because he's been top 3 for the last like 3-4 weekends. He's basically been top 3 ever since Jet went out, in my opinion, right? So I think maybe he kind of underachieves, maybe go 5th, 6th-ish, kind of like what I predict for Deegan. I can also see him come out swinging, maybe go freaking for a podium spot. You know, you never know. But that's what I have a gut feeling for. And then my overachieve is the guy that raced the Suzuki 250 at Ironman for no reason whatsoever. But that's Kenny. Kenny's going to overachieve, and he's going to get a podium at Charlotte. He got 2nd last year at this race. So he knows what he's doing. Obviously, he's one of the best riders in the world, right? So he knows what he's doing. So I have him overachieving, and I expect him to do some pretty good things, right? My biggest surprise of the weekend I guess for the 450, I don't even think I said my biggest surprise for the 250. I kind of forgot about that. My biggest surprise for the 250 is Levi going to win. I kind of did that in my podium, but Levi's going to win. All right, that's my biggest surprise. My biggest surprise for the 450 class, Cooper Webb's going to struggle and maybe get like 7th or 8th. Don't come at me when it happens, all right? That's all I got to say. Don't come at me when it happens, all right? My podium for the 450s. This is a bold one. All right, boys. This is a bold one. Third place, Jason Anderson. Second place, Eli Tomac. First place, my boy, Chase Sexton. That's my podium. Is it going to happen? Probably not. I mean, I have Kenny overachieving, so I can maybe see Kenny getting on the podium besides Eli. I think Jason, always a great Supercross rider. I think Jason can pull off a podium spot. But don't sleep on Jet either. I think Jet probably is in that mix. But two-moto format in Supercross, anything can happen. One bad start means you're outside of the top three, right? When I say accumulating points at the end of the day, right? It's going to be interesting. That's why we get to watch. You guys will see our reaction video the next day. I'm excited to actually post these reaction videos. Hopefully it works out that we can. Let me know in the comment section below if you disagree with any of these, agree with any of these, or hate my guts because I put Deegan off the win. All right. I'm sorry, but yeah, appreciate you guys. Let me know who you guys have winning in the comment section below. If you guys enjoy this, make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this or you guys want to see a little recap video. I would love to do it. I mean, it's fun. I like doing predictions. I'm a bold prediction type of guy. You know, I like doing random things. I like making random statements. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys like this, let me know in the comment section. And yeah, we'll catch you guys back here in the next video. I'm out. Peace.